Get your coffee, hear the roar. Morning hits like a slam door. Bright lights flashing, can't ignore. News served raw, leave you wanting more. Tyler today, voice of the street. Lies and truth, they can't compete. Frontline stories, fever beat. An echo that can't be beat. Clock is ticking, headlines flow. Broken voices, stories grow. Echo chambers overflow. Answers buried in the overthrow. Tyler today, voice of the street. Lies and truth, they can't compete. Frontline stories, fever beat. An echo that can't be beat. Spin it fast before it burns. Every twist a lesson learned. Ashes fall as tables turn. The system cracks, but we never yearn. Tyler today, voice of the street. Lies and truth, they can't compete. Frontline stories, fever beat. An echo that can't be beat. Can't be
Hello, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that song to start off today. It was obviously AI generated, but I thought it was a funny little song to start off with. Lies and truth, they can't compete. But thank you guys for tuning in today. Today, I am joined by just a couple people. You may know one of them. One of them is on the show every now and again. First one I want to introduce is Ben. Hello, Ben. How you doing today?
Hello, sir. I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Glad to have you on today. We met Ben in the Timcast Discord over there. If anyone else is interested in being a guest on the show, you are more than welcome to come on at some point. Just hit me up on X or Discord if you have my Discord. And then of course, TJ Rainman is joining us again today. Hello, TJ.
What's happening? Back after a day on the golf course. So,
Oh yeah, did you see Trump?
Did I see Trump?
Yeah.
He was shooting well under par. So,
Well under par in Oregon. I mean, has Trump ever been to Oregon?
that's a valid question.
That's a valid question.
Oh, the cat has come to say hello again.
Oh, he hasn't
If
learned
you
what a
see-
camera is.
Yeah, no, if you see the camera shake, that's because she's jumping up onto the desktop.
Nice.
Awesome.
Well, what'd you guys think of the AI song?
That was pretty good.
Dude, I haven't heard an AI song that I don't like yet. And
Yeah.
that's a terrifying thing.
No, it is scary. They're getting really freaking good at it, dude.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like, I don't know, how long would it take to make an album and then just like release it for 99 cents?
Right?
Not very long.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, minimal effort, all the profits, no music label.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
does concern me about the music industry and stuff like that. And Joey's talked about this before, like in relation to video games and just media in general. AI is going to get to a point where we don't need these massive gaming companies. You just type in a prompt like I want a Skyrim type game, but with Destiny 2 graphics and gameplay.
Right.
Like, and then it would just make the game for you. By the way, that game sounds fire. I would love a Skyrim Destiny 2 game, but
That would be fun.
no. So we'll get to that point eventually because that'll be great. Because it's not a far leap to go from images to movies to video games.
Yeah.
If a AI can generate images, it could generate movies. If it could generate movies, it can generate video games. We're not far.
Well, and it's crazy because like the game could potentially be like procedurally generated. So like, based on what you do, the story can completely change.
Dude, that would
in
be
a way that-
so cool. Yeah,
That
depending
would
on your
be really
actions.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
depending on your actions, the game could be entirely different. That way, like, no one person has the same playthrough. Dude, that would be great for streaming. Think about that for streaming, bro.
That would be really good for
endless
streaming.
content.
Endless content for literally anybody.
I'm gonna do
And
it.
then if dude, you want a DLC, you're like, man, that was a great game. Types in prompt for DLC. Instant,
now-
just bam.
There is one thing I will say. I don't know how well AI taking that career away would really work, because one of the things that with games is it's an art form and many people enjoy it in that way. And so part of the enjoyment is seeing somebody else's interpretation, which is something a lot of times AI does lack. So
Well, the same can be said about music. And you were just saying that there are no bad AI songs, and so
yeah, that is true. That is
same
true.
argument
So
would apply. So pretty crazy, man.
I mean, what
Yeah.
what AI is essentially it's taking all of the data that it's collected, and there's so much data for music, and that's why it's so good at making AI music at this point, because it takes all these different songs and then it's like, okay, what works, what songs are popular, bam, AI song makes all these lyrics. It knows all different forms of grammar, so it knows how to tie things together. And it'll be like that with video games. Imagine AI getting a hold of just any video game. It'll be able to decode Grand Theft Auto. It'll be able to decode Oblivion, Dark Souls. It would be able to decode all of these things, figure out what works. It would be able to look at other people's videos and streams, figure out what was enjoyed by the player, and it would be able to generate these video games just like it's generating these songs right now, and it would be generating them for people to engage with. So it's a scary thought, but it's also it's a really cool thought, because like video games are going to get really fire in the future.
there is definitely one positive of that. The AI is more likely to release a game that works.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about too. Because like you're sitting there playing the game and there's a bug that happens. All you got to do is edit the prompt, like change or fix bug, change bug here. Like it would be so easy. But so I want to start off because we've got a few stories that I want to get into today. Let's start with something not too controversial. Let's start with a black guy getting shot by cops.
Great out the gate.
Right off the bat.
let's I don't want to be too controversial off the bat. So, police shooting after highway confrontation sparks debate. April 16th. So that was today. A confrontation between it says today, but this was actually this was yesterday. A confrontation between a police officer and Deshaun Leith, described by some as a community leader, resulted in Leith's death by police shooting. The incident, which began after a multi-state chase involving a stolen police cruiser, was captured on body cam footage showing Leith attacking the officer despite multiple warnings and attempts to subdue him with non-lethal force. The event has sparked varied reactions on social media regarding the use of force by police and the circumstances leading to the confrontation. So a lot of the videos that people were sharing are gone now, but we still have this one from Benny Johnson.
What do you mean?
So this is a still picture that people are sharing of the the guy that got shot.
That's the perfect time to capture a picture of somebody right there.
He definitely looks like he's ready to go willingly. He definitely wants to be in police custody from this picture, from what I can tell. But so let's actually watch the body cam footage, because the body cam footage is there's already some body cam, or this is at least dash cam.
What's going on, man? What's going on? In the name of Jesus, watch out. In the name of Jesus, watch out. Watch out, get hurt. You're going to get hurt. In the name of Jesus, stop, bitch. Hey, bow down. Jesus, Lord, bow down. Don't touch me, you're going to die. Next time you touch me.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but at the start there, when he's getting frantic like that, you could see his arm move in the direction of his holster. So, like, that's already concerning. Like, watch at the start. Watch the dude in the pink shirt. Watch his hands. He reaches for the officer's firearm.
What's going on, man? What's going on? In the name of Jesus, watch out. In the name of Jesus,
Look, see, he's trying to get around under his arm.
You're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
In the name of Jesus, stop, bitch. Hey, Lord, bow down. Jesus, Lord, bow down. Don't touch me, you're going to die. Next time you touch me, you're going to die. Next time you touch me, you're going to die.
Next time you touch me, you're going to die, is what he's telling a police officer while reaching for his firearm.
Wow.
Put your hands behind your back.
Dude starts running away. So I thought the video was gonna end here, right? Like, this is why Democrats are talking about it. Like, look, the black guy was running, and the cop just started shooting him. Like, that's what I thought was gonna happen here, but it continues. So here, keep watching. It continues. He comes back,
Send me another unit. He's on foot, going down the berm.
turns around. He's coming back.
Hey, you gotta go down. You ain't that's Jesus, bitch. That's Jesus, bitch.
Jesus.
Oh.
Say Jesus, bitch. Say Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Which that guy took the taser like a champ. So that's already terrifying for the police officer, you know?
Okay, yeah. So the taser did make contact. I thought he missed.
No, 100%. It made contact, and he was sitting there holding the electricity to him, and the guy kept moving.
That's concerning. I've never heard of somebody tanking a taser like that.
Really?
Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
It actually happens quite frequently.
I've seen it happen to like crackheads and stuff, but
Usually someone's on drugs, but if there's like a really strong dude or a really fat, so it's two things: either a really strong guy or a really fat guy. Those are the ones that withhold the tasers.
Okay.
So this guy, I mean, he looks pretty, physically fit. So, that could be why he was able to tank it. But so here, let's continue the video. I think it's safe to show this on YouTube. I don't think they show him actually getting shot, but we'll find out. Dude, he's doing like full arm swings. He's not messing around.
yeah.
This guy's
Like-
insane.
What was the initial traffic stop for? Do we know?
Well, it said that he had stolen a police cruiser.
Well, is this what leads to him stealing a police cruiser, or is this?
No, this is them stopping him after stealing the police cruiser, I think.
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha.
I think that's why we had the dash cam footage at the start, and now we're at body cam footage.
Right.
Jesus. Okay, let's see. Come on. All right. Let's try to call Jesus.
Yes, hey, kitty.
Get down on the ground now.
He's telling the cop to lay down.
Wow.
I'm strong, Jesus. I'm a Jesus for you. I'm a Jesus for you. I'm a Jesus.
So video ends there, but that dude is clearly manic. He's like saying, "I'm Jesus." He's like yelling at the cop, telling the cop he's gonna kill the cop. Like, I mean, this seems pretty cut and dry. This dude, there was multiple opportunities for this officer to shoot him, and he didn't. He gave him plenty of leeway. So it's just crazy. Well, my question is if this dude did steal a police cruiser, why is there only one responding officer?
Which is what leads me to believe that this is the initial.
It's the initial, and then
interaction.
so he beats the cop and then steals the car, maybe.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but I mean, I easily could be wrong.
Yeah.
Just makes more sense to me. But yeah, so I'm interested to see.
Jesus. You guys didn't see that. You didn't see that.
Hi, YouTube.
No, that's fine to be on YouTube. It's just a little. Anyway,
People mean
someone in the YouTube chat. Who's that? Fast Run is not real, or is not. Wait, Fast Run is not fast. Dude's a Terminator. Yeah, absolutely. Mad Stork with his new emojis in the chat. Hell yeah, Mad Stork. Hey, for those in Rumble, or if you're not on Rumble, head over to Rumble. I have new emojis for all of my followers. So go and check those out. I just posted one in the chat because I think they're awesome. Mad Stork made them for me. Shout out to Mad Stork. But
So here's a question.
Yeah.
Do we think that the media is going to hyperfixate on any racial sort of interaction like this to spur up more conflict like they did for the Summer of Love? Because body cam footage being out there really sets the tone that this was like warranted if you want to verbalize it or whatever.
So here's more to the story.
But people are gonna still throw firebombs because of it, right?
Right. I don't know what the media's reaction to this is going to be. I mean, this is still like 24 hours old.
Right.
But it says trooper shoots and kills Michigan community leader who attacked an officer, crashed a stolen cruiser, and prayed for over 11 minutes during a multi-state chase. Video shows Ohio trooper approaching Deshaun Leith, who had crashed his vehicle near the state line. Leith then attacks the trooper and steals his cruiser. He led on a chase for... Okay, so you were correct. He attacked the officer and stole his cruiser. He led police on a chase for 11 minutes while talking to himself. The chase ends when he crashed in North Sewickley, Beaver County. Pennsylvania State Police used legal intervention to stop the pursuit. The Beaver County District Attorney is investigating involved. Troopers are on administrative duty. Okay, so here, let's move this over. So I think this is the clip of him actually stealing the car, or after he has stolen the car.
So it's interesting that the officer is on administrative duty and not suspended with pay until pending investigation or something like that. Like, it seems like they've already made the determination that the officer was justified if they're letting him perform.
There's only one officer because it starts as a routine stop. It escalated from there. Okay, thank you for the clarification, Mad Stork. So yeah, so TJ was right. That was the initial stop, and then it escalated from there up to this point. So let's see it. Clip's a lot louder. We already saw this. So he's fighting the officer. Okay, we didn't see that part.
Oh, it doesn't even show him run up to it.
Then it cuts to this.
The devil off the radio. Play that good gospel music.
The devil is the radio.
In the name of Jesus.
This guy has to have something going on in the head, because it's
definitely like a manic episode or something.
Yeah, well, because in both of these, he's screaming a lot of almost trying to act like he's a preacher or screaming a lot of prayers and whatnot, almost like he's like one of those God commanded me to do it sort scenarios almost.
Right.
Well, I mean, even
It's
while he's
giving
beating
that vibe.
Even while he's beating the officer, he's like, "I'm Jesus, I'm Jesus." Like he's outright saying he's God. So he's definitely going through like a manic episode. That's a common thing when it comes to people who've gone manic. So I don't know. It's crazy. Let's see the rest of this clip. So this is him actually driving the car.
Anything that get behind me, I rebuke anything that's in front of me. That's not a follower of Jesus. I tell them to get off the highway. If I can catch my breath, Jesus. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
You know why I believe? I got a mark on my face. You know why I believe? I got Jesus, baby. I got Jesus. The fuck out the way, kid, got Jesus. And I told him
So close to people.
It ain't no next place mentality.
Ooh.
It ain't no next place. It ain't no next place.
Oh!
God damn. So as that's happening, I love how calm he's being while that's happening. So here, let's go back. Just listen to him talk. Like, he's just so calm while all this is happening.
Dude, like, and he...
No, the dude was clearly manic. There's no way.
Together. They didn't see no color. They didn't see no races. I swear to God, they didn't see no color. Thank you for the name of Jesus. Thank you for the name of Jesus. Thank you for the name of Jesus. Thank you for the name of Jesus.
Damn. So I'm assuming he continues to fight with officers after that. But the dude was clearly manic. This guy has to have something going on in his head. Yeah, it's likely drugs, which would explain the taser fail.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, it could have been that he was on drugs, or it could just be that the dude, had a screw loose. That drift was an improper maneuver, I think. They are only supposed to do that when clear of other traffic. Yeah, if they what's called if they pit maneuvered him, then yes, they should have waited till people were clear. They're not supposed to do that unless it's they have a clear road. But still, that guy was he doesn't seem to be aware of everything that's going on. He's just talking so calm, even after the crash. He's still talking nonsense. So there was definitely something wrong with the dude. With the dude. And it's terrible that it resulted in his death. But I mean, that's what happens. You know, drugs are bad, right? And you don't fuck with cops.
I think what you were saying with the media, how they might try to play it up, there might be an attempt, but this isn't like 2020 with that whole debacle. This is very clear exactly what happened, and there even attempts to shut down people seeing that has kind of failed. So I don't know if it's going to be
Right.
If it does, it's not going to be nearly like what we had with 2020.
Right, and what I'm trying to say is that, like, even though this is, you know, a bad example for the left and the media to try and stir up, you know, rage and fury, anytime there's any sort of circumstance where they can make this argument, you know, black man shot by police or whatever, they're going to try to plaster it everywhere. The first one that they're trying isn't the right one to push the needle for them. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just get the feel that the goal from the media and, you know, from all those people is to just drive the division yet again because they want chaos in the streets while Trump is in office.
So I have a perfect story to segue into, but first, you got to hear from our campaign, our Rumble ad campaign, guys. I do these videos completely free. I don't make money from these videos. I do this for the fun of it. Of course, if you want to support me and support what I do, you know, hit the thumbs up, hit the like, follow, subscribe, share it everywhere. Of course, Rumble rants and stuff like that. The channel subscriptions, all of that stuff is great. The only money I really make is from the ads. So we have this ad from 1775 Coffee. I'm gonna get like 50 cents from this ad, so I just want to read it. Weak coffee is for the weak, and at Rumble, weak has never been a part of the mission. No fillers, no fraud, and no settling for mediocrity, just like 1775 Coffee. It's single origin, small farm, hand-picked, specialty grade coffee that stands for quality, free speech, and calling out BS when it matters. Forget stale, mass-produced beans, roasted just enough to hide the flaws. Dark roast hits like a Trump tariff, which we'll be talking about tariffs here in a moment. Medium roast keeps it bold without the bitterness, and Vitality Mushroom Blend, real energy and lasting focus, no synthetic garbage. For K-Cup pods, whole bean, or fresh ground coffee, go to 1775coffee.com. Use code STUDIO for 15% off, and start your morning with coffee that stands for something. Also, don't forget, they're still doing this. You buy 1775 coffee, every dollar spent enters you to win a Cybertruck and $30K in cash. So make sure you guys go and get your 1775 coffee. Maybe, hopefully, I'll be reading a Cast Brew coffee ad here soon. We'll see.
Oh boy.
We'll see. That would be pretty cool.
I don't think that the shout out to the Cast Brew potential sponsorship is. You probably shouldn't throw that out there right at the end.
No, it's okay. I clicked end on the ad. The ad was over. I clicked end on it, so it's fine.
Okay. So
but look, I support both. 1775 coffee seems great. I hear great things about it. I hear great things about Cast Brew. Okay, there's no reason you can't have multiple kinds of coffee. Maybe you want one day, you want a different kind the other day. You know, mix it up.
You won't be a crazy person. You mix the two together.
Whoa. Okay, don't listen to Ben on that. I don't know.
We don't want you stealing any police cruisers.
That is not coffee advice. We do not give coffee advice on this show.
You don't want to take coffee advice from me. I don't drink coffee.
Outworld Live said, "What savage goon disliked the video?" It's just my daily hater. It's fine. It's okay.
You've managed. You've got a hater? Wow.
I've got a hater. He's consistent too. Every video I get one dislike now. So I mean, cool. Thanks. Oh, I love that name. Fast Yeeter 25 liked and followed. Hype. Hell yeah, dude. Hype. I love that name. You guys know that's my favorite word is yeet. I love yeet. That's my favorite word.
Do you own a
Um,
Yeet cannon?
Yeet. I follow Tyler after this show on Outworld Live. Wow, Joe, you got to plug your stuff. You're not even on the show, bro. Damn.
Dude, I'm telling you, Joey sends more links than he does actual comments.
And this is why Blanco doesn't like you, Joey. Ooh.
For the pod a little bit.
Sorry, that was a little too personal. Sorry. He puts a smiley face.
Damn. What the hell?
Fast Run is not fast said exactly. Mix both types of coffee.
You're trying to
Not true. I am frequently in chats. Yes, but you're not on the show, Joey. I'll remember this next time you're streaming, and I will share all of my links.
Fast Run, this is what you do. You take half a spoonful of one coffee, half a spoonful of the other coffee, mix it into a monster, and then just down it in one go.
That
I
sounds
will
like
see you at the hospital.
I was gonna say that sounds like a hospital trip. Joey said he's
Coffee
certainly in the chats more than TJ. Lol.
Wow, taking shots at me.
Why would TJ be in the chats? He's on the show. Anyway, let's talk about the Carmelo Anthony story, because you guys were talking about the media's reaction to things. I've got a few things that I could pull up here about this. So let's see. So update to the Carmelo Anthony. So Carmelo Anthony's bond money funds luxury living. Carmelo Anthony, a Texas teen accused of murder, has been released on a $250,000 bond. Following his release, funds raised reportedly for his legal defense have been used to rent a $900,000 house and purchase a luxury car. This expenditure has sparked controversy and debate over the intended use of the donated money. So what they're talking about here is that a GoFundMe was created in order to raise money for this kid's bond. And they didn't need the money. Don't get me wrong. They did not need the money. This is a wealthy family. Also, a lot of people don't realize $250,000 may be the bond, but that is not what you pay in order to get out on bond. You only need to pay about 10 to 20% of that. So not only did the GoFundMe double his bond amount, but it also didn't even need to reach the full bond amount to even be used. So he's basically just gets to take all of that money and go use it for whatever he wants to use it for, which cool. Good for you, man. I mean, your life is probably ruined from this, so might as well benefit where you can. But it's just crazy to me that all these people donated for this. Chats on Discord, whatever, Joey. Joey said he chats more on Discord than you, TJ.
All right, fair.
He said fair enough. But what's funny about this is all these people donated all this money. They don't even know if this guy's innocent or not. And he's just going to take all that money and go, like it says here, he's buying luxury cars. He's renting a $900,000 house. Like, it's just funny. It's just funny to me.
I was, for some reason, under the impression that, like, when it comes to stuff like GoFundMe or whatever, that money has to be used for its intended purpose. Like, it can't.
Yeah. That's how
is there some
GoFundMe
legality
works.
issue if you use it elsewhere?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a huge legality issue.
So shouldn't the family be getting sued?
They could.
This guy might have just tacked an extra lawsuit onto this.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, not only is he ruining his life, he's going to ruin his family's life because they'll take everything from them.
Well,
This
now,
remi-
was it the kid or the kid's dad who...
I'm sure it's both because the kid, he's a minor. He can't rent a house.
Right.
This reminds me of a few years back when people started digging up where all of BLM's funding was going to.
Mad Stork said that they allow you to change the purpose of the Give Send Go before you end it.
So you could send it to, like, you could create a give.
Hey guys, I have this Give Send Go for helping
Feeding
puppies
homeless
in my
puppies.
local community, and about 10 minutes before I end it, though, it's gonna turn out that the puppy was actually me, and all the money was from me.
I'm gonna change
So
it to TJ's whiskey fund.
there
Gosh,
you go. Yep.
Gosh, at that point, just make a GoFundMe called "I don't want to work, give me money."
Yeah.
I think that
Tricky
exists.
people, I
That probably
guess.
exists.
I would not be surprised if somebody's done that.
Right.
But hey, at least it's honest.
All I expect from people is honesty. But let's see, what is the chat saying? Correct, and they did change the purpose of the Give Send Go before it ended. I believe there's a limit on how close to the end it can be. So okay, so maybe they aren't in
They
legal
jump
trouble
through
for
the-
this then.
Yeah, they jump through the hoops, but it's shady as fuck.
Yeah.
It's like just because there are loopholes to let you do something doesn't make it any better. Like I said, this reminds me of when people started tracking where BLM's funding was going to and figured out all the things that they were saying they were, all the nice little private luxuries they were getting. Hello, kitty. And that's the thing. These people are still gonna fall for that stupid stuff because it's about ideology at the end of the day.
That's a fair point.
But so the reason I wanted to bring up this story yet again is because a lot of people are talking about this, and there's likely footage of the altercation. So the debate around this topic is pointless. We just need to wait for the police to conclude their investigation, and if this guy did something, he will face justice over it. I would hope. And if there is footage of it, eventually that'll make its way online through whatever means, and the people will know. The people will know if it was actually self-defense, or the people will know if it was essentially premeditated murder.
Right.
Not likely. Police have confirmed it. Confirmed what?
So here's a quick question. So they didn't buy the home; they're renting the home,
Yes.
and it's in like a gated community or whatever.
Yep.
I do think that, the family moving to somewhere that they are going to be like safe on this trial, and while they have the microscope on them or whatever, I do think that it's a wise move to, be try to protect yourself, because this is becoming a very high profile case. But I don't think a $900,000 home is the move. How much are they paying in rent?
Well, yeah, it says $900,000 home, but we don't know how much the rent is. The
Yeah,
rent's
it's a little
clearly
bit-
not going to be that much.
Right.
It's probably like I don't know. It's probably like 8 or 10 grand a month or something stupid.
Right.
But hey, he just got $500,000. He can do what he wants.
I guess.
Yeah. But so Matt Stork's talking about the footage. The police confirmed that they do have footage of the incident. So there's not. I don't really want to have a debate on this. From everything I've seen, it seems pretty cut and dry. This guy didn't need to go and antagonize this kid by sitting next to him and then get into a fight with him and stab him for being shoved. That's essentially the story that people are going with right now. He walked past multiple areas he could have sat, went to a tent that was not for his school, sat directly next to somebody he did not know, and refused to leave when they asked him to leave. So,
What happened?
like, I don't know where you go from there. Like, the kid he made so many steps in the wrong direction, like that it's kind of hard to argue that it was self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to the good old days when people would just have a quick little fist fight and everything would be all sorted out?
So actually, I'm really glad you brought that up, TJ, because I had this argument with, I believe it was on the Quiet Part pod. So my argument for that is that I do not get in a fist fight with someone. If I'm going to fight someone is dying. I'm not going to fight someone. I don't know how far they're willing to go, and I'm not going to test that. The street fights are incredibly dangerous. Fights in general are dangerous. People don't realize how easy it is. All it takes is one swing, nice clean shot to the head. You fall, hit the back of your head, you're dead. So I completely disagree when people are like, "Oh, what happened to just good old fist fights?" No, you're fist fighting me. It's not going to be a fist fight. It'll be the last day you breathe, because I'm going to defend myself.
We need to bring back musket duels.
Yeah, there you go. I'm all for that. Let's do duels. I'm not for this fisticuffs fighting crap. Like, yeah, sure. Like, if you would be a man and go have a fist fight, but you don't know how far people are willing to go. You don't know when they're gonna stop. You could be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go have a fist fight with this dude. You start losing, and now you're getting your head bashed in on the curb.
Well, there's nothing manly or smart or anything about just turning everything into a physical altercation like that. Anyways, like what's the point? That you have anger management issues, and so you're gonna solve your problems by beating the other person up. What good does that even do?
Shitty Gov. I'm not sure what Shitty Gov means. He says, "Jesus, Tyler, you could get in a car wreck also, but you still do DoorDash."
Saying that there are risks in life,
Yeah, there's risk in life, and just so everyone knows, the risk is if you want to get into a fist fight with me, I'm pulling out a knife. That's the risk that you're willing to take when you fist fight me. That's
well, with risk, it's like, yeah, there's risks in everyday life. I mean, hell, I risk not rolling over and suffocating myself in my pillow in my sleep. But there is a difference between life is risky and then going out of your way to do something stupid. There is risks that are worth taking, and there is risks that are not worth taking, and just picking fights are not risks worth taking.
Yeah.
Joey said the only thing I wonder about this story is if there was background stuff on things that happened. I'm assuming what Joey means is like, I wonder if there's like a backstory to why these two are interacting.
Yeah.
Which I would wonder the same, because it's really weird. This kid just chooses this guy to sit next to, and then he gets into a fight.
Didn't we hear that he was friends with one of the other kids who were under the tent, who's like in the police report as like EG or whatever his initials are or something?
Yeah,
like
apparently he had a friend in the tent, but he didn't sit next to the friend, so it was super weird.
I don't know.
The last level of interaction for a man is violence. It is always an option. It is always on the table. Should it be the first option? No. Should it be in the top 3? No, but it is an option. Yeah, like was one side constantly verbally provoking over the course of weeks or months? I mean, even if that was the case, Joey, that still would, like, I don't think that changes anything.
Well, it would show a level of like premeditation, you know.
It would show Yeah, it would just go further to the argument that this was not self-defense and that this kid was looking to go and start something. But anyway, we've got a lot of stories to get through. We're already almost 40 minutes into the show, guys. I'm not letting Tyler pick fights. Just saying. Wait, I'm not letting. Okay, I read that wrong. I'm not telling Tyler to pick fights. Just saying I was in the transition period. Started out with fist, ended with guns. This was over a 6-year period. I'm not sure what you mean, Shitty Gov. Do you mean like you were in an altercation with someone that originally started with fist and it escalated over to you guys are pulling guns on each other? Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean,
I'm a little confused by the comment.
The way a situation can easily escalate, you know.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about, because people are like, "Oh, why does he have a knife on him? Why did he pull out a knife?" And the only thing I have to say to that is, Second Amendment, you can have your knife wherever you want. I don't care if it's school or not. People keep saying, "Oh, it's illegal to bring knives to school." I don't care. I would bring multiple knives to school every day. Cry about it. I don't care. Mad Stork said at Shitty Gov, transitioned confirmed. No, I think even kids used to be able to bring firearms to school. Now we're arguing for them not to even bring knives to school. So there's something wrong with society today when we can't trust one another to the point where you can't even have a knife on you anymore. Like I said, kids used to bring literal loaded guns to school for their because they had certain classes where you would go and shoot at the range. And you would also be taught how to dismantle your weapon, clean it properly, proper care. All kinds of things. They don't do that anymore because society is so sick and fucked up that we can't do it anymore. All you people arguing that I can't bring knives to school, fuck you. I'm not exactly the tallest or the biggest person, so when I have kids, I want my kids to be able to defend themselves. I don't want them getting beat half to death by the 6'5" dude that they said a bad joke to. But anyway, do you guys have anything to add before we move on?
Nah.
I'm going to move on.
Okay.
What do you want, Kitty?
The cat wants your soul.
Cat probably does want my soul. Or
Always.
a treat.
That's why they're there. Okay, so I just thought this was funny, just because I think every country should do this, regardless of the reason. Lebanon now has banned Snow White over Godot's role. Wow. So I guess because Gal Gadot is Israeli, Lebanon is like, nope, she's an Israeli actor, can't have any of her movies. But the reason I say that all countries should follow suit is because no one should watch Snow White. I don't want to subject anyone to that. That was the joke I made when China decided to ban all American films. I'm like, good. I don't want them watching Snow White anyway.
They're just trying to protect their citizenry, right?
Yeah, dude. That's a what is it? What is it? Fuck.
Come on now.
I'm thinking it's on the tip of my tongue.
Okay, Kitty, I know what you want.
Okay, I lost it. I know the word I'm thinking of. Oh, preemptive. It was a preemptive strike. That's the word I was looking for. It's a preemptive strike to defend their citizens from the actual absolute buffoonery of Hollywood.
Well, just going to show how bad the Snow White movie is, Minecraft is outselling it by a lot.
Yeah,
That's
but the reason Minecraft is outselling it, because the Minecraft movie looks like garbage. None of the characters actually look like Minecraft characters. They resemble them to some degree.
It's bad on purpose. Yeah.
I don't even know if it's on purpose. It kind of just seems like
it's-
all these all these video game films that come to life. I mean, you look at Sonic. They did Sonic dirty when it first came out. We had to literally rage about it
dude.
in order to fix it.
That was
One-
one of the coolest moments of like the internet doing the right thing, like saving Sonic like that. Like everyone came together and was like, "No, you're not going to put this out," and so they redid the CGI for it, and
And I wish they would
much
fix the
better.
CGI for Shrek, and I wish they didn't release Minecraft the way it is. But they did, and the only reason it's popular is because people have successfully memed the crap out of it. It's been memed so hard that even I'm considering going and watching it just because it's a meme.
If
has
you
it-
want to watch Jason Momoa play an actual loser, it's a great movie. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. One of the trailers for it literally says Mojang invites you to turn your brain off. They know it's a steaming turd. They did it on purpose.
But is it really the fact that people are going to see it for the meme, or is it that there are these kids who see the word Minecraft and they're like, I gotta go see it?
Chicken
Minecraft-
jockey.
Minecraft is a 20-year-old game. It's mostly teenagers going to see this movie.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Hey, you
Shows
know
the-
what? If we're making video game movies, the only one I care about is Dark Souls. We need the Dark Souls series. We need the Dark Souls movies. I want them just as vague and non-explanative as the video games. I want shit to just happen and play out, and then you got to figure it out yourself.
I want to see an Ocarina of Time movie.
I want to.
My brother would be right there with you.
I'd be right
I
there.
want to see somebody take the leaked script for the old Halo movie they were planning in the early 2000s and turn that into a movie. Because I got my hands on that script when it was made public, and it would have been actually really good.
Can we remove Master Chief removing his helmet like that? Can we just agree that that's not?
Oh yeah,
canon?
no, the
not
original. So you mean like at the end of Halo 1?
Does he remove his helmet at the end of Halo 1?
Yeah.
Didn't they have the show and he removed his
Yeah,
helmet?
That's
the
what I was
show-
talking about. Is the
so-
show?
Yeah, no, the show isn't canon, but in Halo 1, yeah, when he's leaving the Pillar of Autumn, he takes his helmet off, but they pan it away so you can't see his face.
Right.
And in the original script, like, because there was plans for a Halo movie in like 2002, I believe. In the original script, yeah, he would not take off his helmet.
Yeah.
Like I said, it would have
Well,
actually been a good movie if that script would have been good.
Well, see that's what I was saying about the TV show is they have him remove his helmet, and it's like no, I don't. It's the same thing with the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian never should have removed his helmet, but they literally did it just for plot points.
Mm.
They did it
Literally, like here, let's have a plot where he removes his helmet and he has a whole existential crisis about it and has to do this like ceremony to redeem himself. And it's like literally, there's no point to that. You literally didn't have to do any of that. He could have just been the Mandalorian that followed the Mandalorian's rules. But no, you had to be like, oh, plot point. He removed his helmet.
They also didn't get the actor in there.
Hey, at least the Mandalorian gave it a plot point. Master Chief, they just have him take it
They
off
did it
for
just
the
to
sake.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, anything to add on movies, Snow White, Lebanon? Any?
I mean, so what exactly is their reason? Like, or
Gal Gadot's an Israeli. That's their reason.
that's legitimately what they're saying, or is that what everyone's saying they're saying?
No, that's literally the reason.
Yeah, that's just the reason.
Lebanon bans all movies that have Israeli actors.
Wow.
That it's a part of a boycott against Israel.
Yeah, I could see the people doing that, but I don't know if
No, it's the Lebanese government is boycotting.
No, I'm saying like I could see justification if it was the people trying to do some sort of boycott protest thing.
Yeah,
But to have the government do it is heavy-handed, I guess.
absolutely.
I can't say I'm surprised.
I mean, I'm not surprised either, but I just thought it was funny because, of course, no one should watch Snow White anyway.
Yeah, taking
So
those ratings even further.
yeah, I wonder how much of this is just an excuse to not have to watch United States propaganda bullshit. You know,
Do
Like,
you
I don't
need
blame
any
these other
more of an
countries.
excuse? Do you need any more of an excuse other than it's propaganda garbage?
right? It's propaganda garbage, woke bullshit. I I mean, yeah, that's about it. So anyway, moving on to more woke bullcrap. Actually, let's talk about this story first before we move on to the Harvard story. Have you guys seen the video of that's going viral right now of the dog attack?
I have not.
I have not.
So there was a dog attack. Let's see. So, man stops dog attack with unconventional method at London Park. An unusual incident occurred at Roe Green Park in Kingsbury, northwest London, where a man intervened in a dog attack by using an unconventional method to separate German Shepherd from attacking a smaller dog. The event has sparked widespread discussion on social media about the pet management and public safety. Various responses include advocating for dog training at such and such. So here's the actual video. And just let me know what you guys think about those.
Tell me just.
You'll see the unconventional method. I just want you to see it.
I guarantee I know what it is. Everyone knows that that's what they should do.
Yeah, well, what do they do, TJ?
Yeah. Thumb up the rear, man.
There you go.
The
TJ
old
knows.
California hitchhiker.
The old California hitchhiker. Hey, you want a dog to stop attacking? Make them think they're getting inserted. You know, they'll back off real quick.
Like, yeah, I haven't. Like I said, I hadn't heard of this attack. Haven't seen anything about it.
It's because a lot of people.
The only reason I'm bringing
it up.
I mean,
Sorry,
check, tell me if I'm wrong. Like,
no, you're correct.
This, right?
You're correct. The only reason I'm bringing up the story is because it's viral and I think it's hilarious. And more people should know about this method. As disgusting as it is, it does work. So here you go. So here you are. You see them trying to pull the dogs apart. This guy's pouring water on his face. No one knows what to do. That smaller dog is just literally getting eaten right now. That new dog just got a chew toy. Aggressive. He uses the big finger. Look at that. He's using the index. He's like, let me index something real quick for you. Bam. Look at that. Get up there. Get up there. There you go. There you go.
I've always heard of it, but I've never actually seen it in action.
I've seen it in action. I know people that have done it. It does work. It works. So, you know, if there's ever dude's got to check that dog's oil. There you go. No, he's checking his temperature, shitty gov. He's checking his temperature. Correction. You should always carry a thermometer on you.
This is why I own a cat.
I
don't need to worry about Jezza doing that.
Oh, so what I was going to add to this is, yes, people should know about this method because you do not want to stick your hand in the jaw of dogs. There are some breeds of dogs that can they have a locking mechanism in their jaw. You're physically just not going to move their jaw. You will need to go. I have a family friend. His dog was being attacked by a much larger dog, and he tried to pry the jaws open of the other dog. He ended up having to go and get a lot of stitches.
I did the same thing one time, and got bit. It definitely hurt, but I didn't have to get stitches or anything like that. But they. Yeah.
No, when dogs get like that, some dogs they can they could physically and literally lock their jaws. You're not moving their jaw, so you need to look for other ways to get them off. And yes, that's one of the methods.
Of wording, but okay.
Yeah, dogs. The reason we domesticated them was for their ability to hunt and kill. So
yeah. Well, hey, let's just all I'm gonna say is you're not prying a dire wolf off of anybody's dog.
Now that those things have come back, yeah.
Yeah. Except it won't be dogs they'll be after. They'll be other humans. You'll be trying to get them off your sibling. Like, no, stop.
Well, the same method more than a dire wolf. I think that's what we need to. Really
hey, Ben's got a good point. That's what the Second Amendment's for.
Look, all I'm gonna say is at this point we are just justifying the overkill of the Desert Eagle.
Oof. Let's bring back Argentavis from you guys don't know Argentavis, huh? So it was one of the largest birds. It was like 7 feet tall, like 30-foot wingspan. No, it looked like a vulture.
Gotcha.
And they were mostly scavengers. I think they would weigh like 200-300 pounds.
Okay,
a bird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
hunting season a year or two ago, we were just driving out in the woods, and someone had left remains from a deer that they killed, and so birds were on it and whatnot. And as we drove by, the birds flew off, and this golden eagle is flying straight down the gravel road, dirt road that we're driving down, and its wingspan was across the entire road. Thing was absolutely massive. So you see birds, you see some birds way up in the sky and think that they're just tiny little pigeons, right? But in reality, they are massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, what I want to add to the story is that I think there should be like a test given to all dog owners where like someone riles up their dog, and if they physically can't hold them back, they don't get to own the dog.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Not bad.
spicy hot take time.
So let me turn off YouTube real quick. No, I'm just
Spicy take time.
Okay, so how to make the best Chinese restaurant? No.
whoa.
No. My hot take here is there are honestly, if you're gonna be in a suburban setting like that, or like a larger city, there's just some dog breeds that aren't made for that. Because like my both of my parents grew up on farms and they had bigger dogs like that, and even my uncle, who is still a farmer, he's had a bigger dog like that. They're great for out there. Like that's a perfect setting for a dog like that, and there's good use for a dog like that. Personally, I would not have a big dog like that in a city, or a more aggressive dog like that. It's
At least if you can't train it. Most people don't train their dogs.
Right.
Mhm.
I think,
Yeah.
I think that's my issue. Is I don't think a state should be restricting the kind of dog that or a city should be restricting the kind of dog that someone has. But they're I think everything can be trained out of them. You know what I mean? That's kind of my.
I disagree,
there
TJ.
aren't bad dogs. They're bad dog owners.
I'm an authoritarian. I think we need to make a whole new department like the DMV, where all you do is you take your dog in and it has to complete a series of tests to prove that you've trained it.
the Doberman. The Doberman.
Having a dog license, sure. More governmental restrictions. Thanks.
It'll be DTD, the Department for Training Dogs.
Well, we already do have restrictions on what kind of pets you can own within
Yeah.
city limits.
Can't
and
own
whatnot.
squirrels. They murdered that squirrel, that famous squirrel in New York.
What's his name?
Or a lion.
What was it? Peanut the squirrel.
Peanut, yep.
Yeah, Peanut.
Justice for
Yeah,
Peanut.
Rip Peanut. Rip the homie.
They made a whole new law that now requires in New York. It requires that animals receive due process before they're euthanized. There's a whole new law that was made because of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, at least he didn't die for nothing, I guess.
Dude, that whole story was so effed up because it wasn't just a squirrel. I believe it was also a raccoon.
Mhm.
But the squirrel got all the attention, of course.
Dude
Yeah,
had like his YouTube channel where he was showing how kind and like
he was showing that
well-trained
he had
was.
trained animals that people don't typically have, and the government came in, literally confiscated his animals and euthanized him that day before he can even make an appeal.
Yeah, that's messed up. That's
Like,
messed up.
yeah, no, the government literally came in and killed his pets and made sure he was not getting them back.
Pretty sure that's illegal.
Well,
Pretty sure
now it
that
is.
goes against a lot of rights, but yeah.
No, it's not illegal because it was illegal to own the pets in the first place. So the government had a right, technically, to go and confiscate these animals. But I don't think there should be laws against owning any animal. I think there should be laws on whether or not you can train them. Because if you can train a snake, because people know how to manage snakes, if you can train a snake, that's fine. You can own snakes. But if you don't know how to take care of snakes and you're just breeding snakes, then no.
I want my Komodo dragon.
Dude, I'm fine with that. If you want to own a Komodo dragon, I'm fine with that. People do. There's certain there's no animal people shouldn't be able to own. There's more tigers in Texas, but I can't own a squirrel.
I'll move to Texas. Fuck it.
I mean, my thing is less about like limiting the animals you can own, but like within where, because even with like there are people who tame lions. There are people who tame lions and tigers, and they have them acting like house cats. What happens if that thing goes AWOL?
Well,
Because even with dogs,
some people make the same argument for the Second Amendment, though.
well, the difference between a gun and an animal is a gun is a tool. An animal is its own thinking creature.
But what I'm
animals
saying is the same argument can be used is people want guns restricted in certain areas like city centers because higher calibers of firearm cause more destruction and are more likely to travel through more walls where you can't see your target.
Right, but again, the big difference there is that's a tool. It's
No,
not
I
gonna
agree.
do
I'm just
anything unless it's manipulated.
Yeah.
An animal is even the most well-trained animal has a risk of going AWOL. TJ, you were talking about being able to train anything out of it. I actually have my uncle, his last dog, and mind you, was a trained dog. They had him professionally trained and everything, went AWOL. So there is a concern of you. There is that point where you can't control it, no matter what, no matter how well trained it is. There is a point where it can go AWOL, and that's why I'm more concerned about where a certain types of, like, for example, dog breeds would be owned, because if you got like a big vicious dog and it's just within like a crowded confined space like that, that could be a problem if it does go
ticking time bomb kind of a thing. Yeah, ticking time bomb. And that's not to say that it will happen, because most dogs are pretty well trained, but that is sort of the thing was like, it has a mind of its own, and you don't know where that could go.
If I have to take a test on firearm safety in California, I think people need to take a test on dog safety and how to properly train a dog.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, because I mean, owning a firearm is a human right, for self-defense and stuff like that. Owning a pet is not a human right. You don't have the right to just have ownership over another creature. So if you're gonna own another creature, you need to be able to treat that creature and bring it up and have it be able to respect day-to-day goings on. You don't want like Ben's saying, like a tiger. Some people might be able to train a tiger, but there's certain circumstances where you shouldn't have the tiger.
Yeah,
animals can act on their own, but you influence them to not act out. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Tell me about this tariffs, Tyler.
It's an interesting conversation. You want to hear about tariffs, TJ?
I want to hear about tariffs.
You want to hear about how the tariffs are now at 245%? Let's see. I'm trying to pull it up. There it is. U.S. raises tariffs on China to 245% amid trade tensions. Yay! Just do 400 already.
Like, who was it? Who was calling for that? What's his name?
I know who you're talking about. They're just like, fuck it, just do 400. Well, like, what's the point?
With the next tariff increase, Trump needs to come out and he needs to announce that he's going to tariff them all of it. See, the new tariff rate for China is going to be all of it.
Yep.
Basically.
There you
go. So, do you guys think this is going to stop at some point, or is this just going to keep escalating?
Well, so quick clarifying question.
It keeps escalating. It's just fun to watch.
Is do we still have the exception for semiconductors and technology and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, there's a few exceptions for
so the
major
exception
things.
is still there, but on the rest of the goods,
yes,
it's up to 245.
Yeah, but we also have other stories. So it's not just that it's being raised to 245%, but we have even more cancellations between the two countries for trade. China has halted all Boeing deliveries amid trade disputes. So they stopped buying all of their aerospace stuff from us. So anything aerospace related, they have halted.
Interesting.
I was talking with mi madre about this when it came out that China was going to cut their rare earth mineral deals with us. And
oh, you mean the video game Black Ops 2? I love that game.
Yeah, Black Ops 2, exactly. But she brought up something kind of funny that really gets a good chuckle out of me with this whole tariff thing. We've been shifting away from this. Actually, even back in the Biden administration, we've been shifting away from having China being our main trade and production hub. But even then, we get most of our stuff from China. China's only gets 5% of their imports from the U.S. So when they started putting tariffs on our imports to them, it was taxes on nothing. They weren't going to see that money anyways. But what we're doing to them is not just going to cripple their economy, but it could hurt them so hard that it could cause a civil uprising.
So, and that's kind of where I wanted to go with this story is, do we just keep seeing it escalate until the point where we cut off all ties with them And if China does have all ties cut off with the United States, we stop trading with them entirely. What happens to their economy? And again, I think their economy will collapse. It's already not well. And if they lose one of their biggest trading partners, I don't know how their economy will survive. And what I worry from that is they are a world superpower. They're the only superpower that could rival the United States. And if they get to a point where their economy is about to collapse, what stops them from just full out war? Because what we see from countries when their economies are in shambles, they start wars to keep the economy going and to keep their people distracted.
What's going to stop them is the fact that they're going to fall into another civil war. There are two major things at play here. My prediction. Okay, so I actually do want to see the U.S. completely cut trade with China. With the way China is, with the stuff they've been trying to do with us, we should not be buying from them. We should not be having any trade deals with them.
Well, the goal should be net zero, right?
The goal should be net zero. But the thing is, their economy has been almost entirely engineered around being able to use the American economy. It fails without its access to our market.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the other thing...
Doesn't China import mainly food from the U.S., is what Shitty Gov is asking. Does anyone have the answer?
Oh, I know that during, right before COVID hit, Trump had the deal for like $50 billion in food production. He was saying that farmers need to like up their production because he made this deal.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up right now. But Ben, continue with the point.
So like I said, the first part is China's economy is heavily dependent on having complete access to the U.S. economy. The other thing is that China is having its own internal civil unrest to the point where there's even infighting going on within the CCP. There's actually been signs that the CCP is trying to reduce Xi Jinping's power because he started to sour their relations with the U.S. too much, and the CCP doesn't want that. And the cherry on top is historically China has a civil war every 100 years. And so what we're seeing right now is they're about to have an economic collapse that will completely destroy them. Their people are unhappy with the country. The government's unhappy with itself. It's going to implode. They might look at it like time to declare war, time to take Taiwan. They're not. They're going to implode. The leaders of their military aren't even competent. Their generals and whatnot aren't even actually competent leaders.
So what I would say to that is, so basically what you're saying is that China is staring down a civil war, but are we not also?
They're staring down one way worse than we are. Because that's just what happens with such. That's what happens with such.
I think you're just looking at it from the outside perspective. You got to take into account, like, imagine living outside the United States and hearing a lot of the stories that you hear about U.S. politics. You would think that China and the U.S. are about on the same level when it comes to progress towards a civil war. If anything, you would say that the United States is actually more likely to fall into civil war before China does.
I am coming at this from an American standpoint, but from what I've seen, because there's a guy I watch, China Insider, I believe is the name of his channel, and he covers a lot of the stuff going on within there. And the big difference, and the reason why I say that China is staring down a much bigger civil war cannon than we are, is because they have built their entire government infrastructure around overreach and control, and the thing is, it doesn't have that control. China likes to pretend it's got everything under control. It likes to pretend that it's doing so good, but it's a curtain. With America, though, we still have a decent level of unity. Really, we're with the U.S.
Things keep escalating year over year, and I keep seeing a lot of people talking about. I'm sure Joey will pop up in the chat, but there gets to a point where you can't vote your way out of things, and we're quickly approaching that point, as many on the right have acknowledged. We're quickly approaching a point where we can't vote our way out of it, and then what's the answer after that? And none of us can say what the answer is because we're on YouTube. But
with the U.S., I look at stuff like the Trump election and whatnot, that like 2024 election, and just how how much of a win that it was, and even just talking with people, there is more unity in this country than the media would let on.
There's more
In my
unity than
personal
there has
experience.
been, like, since COVID, but
Mhm.
I think there's still a lot of tension with a lot of things. A lot
Well,
of people,
it's a
they're only
vocal
half tuned
minority,
in.
it seems like.
Well, I mean, it could be a vocal minority, perhaps. Because, I mean, the TJ and I talk about this a lot. The Democrats keep picking 70-30 issues, 80-20, 90-10. They're going for the minority on all these important issues, and that is hurting them. But you get a lot of people that also just aren't fully paying attention. So then they hear things like Trump's going to remove the citizenship of people that were born here. Like there was a story going around when he first got into office talking about how they're going to start deporting Native Americans, and
To where?
to where. So like that's what worries me about a lot of this, because technically I'm on the right currently. I voted for Trump and everything, but the only reason I'm on the right is because they are on the side of truth and reality, and that won't last. The powers that be, they try to shift sides when one side gains more momentum. So whatever is controlling the left right now, we might start to see it come over to the right, and we need to be aware of that. I have to keep reminding people.
Yeah. With the China thing, though, the reason I say they're worse off is just because of not to say that we aren't looking at a potential problem. It's just that due to how China is structured and what's going on over there, and to the point of even the CCP kind of turning in on itself almost. Because I didn't know this for a little while here, but Xi Jinping was also basically fighting a political war against the CCP to try and remove anybody who disagreed with him or tried to hinder.
Well, they
him
were trying to
whatnot.
oust him and replace him. So,
and he was trying to oust them and replace them.
Right.
And so you've got that going on with an overbearing, heavy infrastructure, both metaphorically and physically, that is can't even really sustain itself, can't even hold itself up, and now it's losing the one thing keeping its market going. They could decide to declare a war, but then you have the big problem of the military is going to sit there and go, who's paying me to go to war?
So I do agree with you. I just worry about us looking at it from just an American perspective, because you look on, outside looking in on the United States, people in China would be like, yeah, sure, there's political turmoil, but we didn't just try to arrest our incoming president.
No, they're too busy. In China, the media over there is too busy trying to tell them that Americans are scrambling to buy all the Chinese-made products possible before we can't get them anymore.
Yeah, I mean, well, their media is going to distract from their own goings-on, right? But that's just what I worry about in relation to the story. I do generally agree with you. I'm trying to cover all angles here. I don't want to be like, the United States would never fall in a civil war. China's going to fall in a civil war way before we do. And it's like, I don't know. You look at it from an outside perspective, and people might say similar things about the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What were you saying, TJ?
I forgot what I was
Sorry.
saying. But like to circle it back to the whole 245% tariffs or whatever. I think that it's almost a game of chicken. It's who's going to bow out first, and I think that China is taking the hit in their economy far more than we are, but also Americans not having access to the cheap Chinese goods that we've grown accustomed to is something that is going to cause some like social turmoil on our front. You know what I mean?
Well, even then, I know this is definitely speaking more from personal experience, but everybody I know, they will happily pay a little more for made in the U.S. to avoid buying Chinese-made products. While we're not nearly as dependent on China, because lo and behold, that's how capitalism works. But China is extremely dependent on us. How
many things in your room right now were made in China that you wouldn't have if
just the things on the floor or the things on the tables?
Well, here's the thing.
Vast majority. You know what I mean? And so we got to take into consideration that most things around us right now are probably made in China. And we could have bought something American, but like there's not always the opportunity to. And
but even
people have just grown accustomed. It's second nature. They don't think about it. You know.
No, there needs to be a slow transition back to bringing these the manufacturing back. We can't just instantly do it because that'll wreck our economy too. But we do need to start bringing these jobs back. That way, people have some real jobs again. You know, when I'm out looking for jobs, the only options I have right now, as a young 20-year-old, young 24-year-old anyway, the only options I have are go to college, fuck that, go do a trade, or you go work fast food, or you work at a grocery store. Like that, those are your options, and the options should be like go work at a warehouse, go sit on a production line, like things that don't require a ton of school but still pay well.
You're only 24?
How old do I look?
You look like you're close. I mean, you look like you're in your 20s, but I'm just sitting here like, there's no way I'm older than you.
Well, I evidently you are.
But yeah, no, with the job thing, I get what you're saying. Half the reason I decided to start a YouTube channel and see if I could do something with that is because I've been looking for like a second job, and not even the grocery stores want to get back to me.
I got fired. I got fired from a really great.
I mean, fair.
I got fired from a metal fabrication job. I've got like health issues and stuff, but I think it was a race thing, to be honest. I think I've told the story before, but I'm not going to repeat it again. I don't need to. But California, I'm a white guy. They didn't need a reason to fire me, so they fired me. It was at will employment because I wasn't there long enough. And they also hired me through a third party. But anyway, that was back in late September. I still don't have a job. So, yeah. And I've been looking.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that a lot of jobs that aren't just fast food or grocery stores or something don't want to hire a young dung ding dong like me or like us or something. They'd rather hire somebody older because they just automatically connect older with more competent, and then cheaper labor too. So hopefully, getting some of those jobs back here will help that.
And that's another thing I tell people. There's so many people in the job markets nowadays that like I think people don't understand supply and demand works in multiple different ways. There's only a certain number of jobs, so if you have too many people, then there's not enough jobs for everybody. That's kind of just how it works.
It is crazy to see like all these places say that they're hiring, and yet all of these people need jobs. And like you would think that those two match up pretty well, but for some reason,
well, it depends on the area, and then it depends on how much they're paying too, right? Because like when I was working my metal fabrication job, I was making more than I would at like the grocery store down the street, but they end up evening out because I have to commute, and gas prices, wear and tear on my car. By the end of it, I'm making basically the same. So there's a few considerations when it comes into that.
And then on top of that, a lot of places have, since I started looking for jobs back when I was like 16 and whatnot, places had been putting up just constant now hiring signs, not because they were actually hiring, but because they had high turnover rates.
Yeah.
And there's another little dirty secret there too, where a lot of jobs will actually take in applications like that, but they're not actually hiring. They're basically just gathering information to filter out, basically to build AI structures to sift through applications faster, or to gather information and put that on the information market.
Foil hat on a little tighter there, bud. I don't know.
Oh no, I that's like stuff that actual like hiring managers have talked about.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's avoid Indeed and places like that because they play a big part in that problem.
Well, Indeed is partly owned by China.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So, indeed it is. Let's move on to this next story. So what's called this is also in the title for today. So Dan Caldwell, I've never heard of this individual, but Dan Caldwell, a senior advisor to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, was escorted from the Pentagon and placed on administrative leave following an investigation into unauthorized disclosures of sensitive information. This incident underscores potential security lapses with the Department of Defense This investigation is ongoing, and the Pentagon has confirmed the accuracy of reports regarding Caldwell, but refrains from further commentary on the matter. So this is an ongoing effort by our government to remove people that are leaking information.
What
So
information
this
is
guy has allegedly been leaking information.
What-
What'd you say, TJ?
What information has been leaked?
We don't have any information on that yet. They're still keeping. They have
Check-
the report.
Check
They
the
have
War
all the
Thunder
reports.
forums.
Huh?
Check the War Thunder forums. You'll find what was leaked.
Stop.
Oh, do you already know about this?
No, just the meme of just the War Thunder forums keep leaking top secret information over stupid arguments about tanks.
So Nick Sortor tweeted this out. He said, Secretary Pete Hegseth's Deputy Chief of Staff, Darren Selnick, has been removed after an investigation into leakers. This is the second top defense staffer removed today as a part of a leaking scandal after Dan Caldwell. Deep staters are being weeded out. So they haven't said what they're leaking, just that there was an investigation and they concluded that these people are potential leakers.
I wonder if they did the whole Elon Musk like extra space in a memo or whatever.
Right.
See who leaked it.
That could be how they got him.
Yeah, I wonder what method was used to identify that they were leaking.
What the extra space? I hadn't heard of that method before.
So you send out this big long memo, and then in between one word for one person, like in between the first and second word, you have an extra space.
Yeah.
And then for the next person that you send it out, in between the second and third letter, you have an extra space. So then you can highlight and search, do a control F.
Yeah,
for
you
space,
do it.
and you
do a
have
double space. Yeah, you do a double space in random places, and then you send it to different people.
So basically like a hidden number almost. So it tells them like, okay, document 3 was like
Yeah, so when
John
it gets
John
leaked-
Smith, and if he leaks it and you see that extra space, that hidden number, it's
Yep.
like, okay, yeah, John Smith.
It
leaked
looks the same to everybody, but they
Mhm.
are slightly different. So if it is transferred to someone, you can see which one it will actually.
I mean, that's a real easy way to get someone because they're not going to notice a double space like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they might if they're looking for it, but then that's when you do a few of them. So
Yeah, copy,
Yeah.
paste, or like copy it, paste it into a new document, and then do a.
well, they don't do just
find a
that.
replace for a double space. Like if you're the person trying to leak, you
Yeah,
take your document.
Sometimes they'll just outright send different emails too, though.
Sure.
So, but no, I thought this story was interesting. I would like to know exactly what they leaked, but
Shitty government says, "Oh, look, they found themselves a scapegoat." He seems to not quite believe that these guys actually did what they're being accused of doing. It's
I mean,
interesting.
it could be as much as like they were, giving information to the press or something. Like it's not. It doesn't have to be anything major. It's just that they were caught leaking something.
Yeah.
So I found this to be an interesting story. Let's see. Well, we got a few interesting stories. Let's see. You guys pick. You want to talk about Harvard, California, or transgender athlete policy in Maine? Oh, TJ's not here. I guess you get to pick,
All right,
Ben.
no, stop. What were they watching?
Harvard. Do you want Harvard? Do you want California, or do you want a story in Maine about transgender athletes?
Harvard, I guess.
Yeah,
the
I'm kind
Harvard
of thinking
story.
Harvard. The other two, I think I mean, California is just California.
guys-
What's new there?
You guys want to know what's going on with? Well, California is anyway. We'll talk about that in a moment, I guess. Harvard is now defying Trump. They have $2.2 billion in grants that have been frozen now. So the Harvard University has publicly resisted demands from the Donald Trump administration concerning campus policies on diversity, protest regulations, and hiring practices. In response, the administration has frozen $2.2 billion in federal grants to the institution. Harvard's president, Alan Garber, has stated that no government should dictate private university operations, emphasizing academic freedom. This standoff has sparked a debate on government oversight versus institutional autonomy. And then this is a statement from Harvard University here. So basically what's going on is Donald Trump is trying to get these universities to stop enacting DEI and certain practices like that. And Harvard is resisting.
So my question is, why were they receiving $2.3 billion in the first place? Like,
Well, no. So I was going to hit that from a different angle. We should be funding universities and stuff like that if they're actually good universities and they're good for the country. But if they're teaching things that harm the country and teaches people to hate the country, and just doesn't teach them reality, then yeah, we should cut all funding. But I actually kind of agree with Harvard here. If they want to teach stupid bullcrap, let them teach stupid bullcrap. Just stop sending taxpayer funding to it.
Right.
Because
like they- Go
sorry,
ahead.
you first.
Well, I was just going to say that like they probably have some of the most expensive tuition in the country, I would assume, and like they should be able to fund themselves based on the merits that they have as a university. You know what I mean? Like I don't see why the government would need to provide extra money when they already have their means for revenue generation.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the financials look like for Harvard, but again, I'm in support of funding universities if they're actually, educating people, because I want educated people in the country, right? And if they need a leg up here and there for like, I don't know, updated tools, updated anything, and they need some financial help, then yeah, I'm all for that.
The way I see it,
Can I just one thing real quick
Yeah,
to
sorry.
counter my own argument? I could see sort of a justification for sending some sort of money to the university if they're directly funding a specific study that is taking place within the university. If the government wants research done on a specific topic,
I'm sure that happens.
for the sake of for the sake of technological advancement or something like that the United States is going to heavily benefit from, I could see funding some sort of grant in that way. Now, was all of this 2.3 billion, was that all going to this sort of funding research at a university, or I need to know why the money was allocated in the first place to really have a strong opinion on it,
the way I see it is they're complaining about how they're getting cut from this money. That's my money. I pay taxes, and that's what's going into that. And what they're and it's kind of the same with the whole, food stamps banning soda thing. Like, you can't buy soda with food stamps, and people and all those people being like, oh well, this is an overreach of what the government. This is the government overreaching because they're limiting what you can and can't buy. Yeah, with my money. This isn't like somebody going there and handing them money. This is taxpayer dollars going to this stuff. You don't get to sit there and complain about, oh, well, they're not letting us fund this, when that is a free handout that comes out of my wallet. At that point, it is no longer oh, how dare you not give us money for teaching that. That's my money. That's
Absolutely.
not, that is not money they've earned. That's my money. I earned it.
Yeah, that's essentially what I was saying. Like, we can argue about whether or not we should be funding these colleges. I think we should be funding academics in the country.
To an extent, yeah.
To an extent, because when the government puts money into something like this too, then it also there's a lot of good things that come from it. But then when you get situations like this where Harvard is it's not what it used to be, then yeah, we cut funding and they can figure things out on their own. If they want to continue with the degeneracy and teaching falsehoods, they can continue doing that, just not on the taxpayer dime. But so let me read this statement. It says, no government, regardless of which party is in power, should dictate what private universities can teach, whom they can admit and hire, and which areas of study and inquiry they can pursue. So
and they're not.
I was gonna say they're not. If anything, they're telling you to like
go do your thing. We're just not going to be a part of it.
Well, this is something that I've noticed, and this is not just a here thing, but this is something that a lot of the stuff that's been going on recently, politics-wise, can boil down to, whether it be the tariffs or the Doge cuts or stuff like this. It really all boils down to one simple statement of, how dare you take away my free money? That's all this is. Like, it's either Europe complaining, how dare we stop giving them money, or it's, organizations like this complaining about how dare we stop giving them free money, or it's the Democrats and all of their, extra governmental BS saying, how dare you stop giving us free money. That's what all of these have boiled down to, is how dare you take away our free handout.
Well, and what's funny about this is, like, people think that it's the government like, sure, the government's putting pressure on them by taking away the money, but the money was a privilege in the first place. So
Right.
them taking it away is not them telling you. It's not them telling you you can't do this. It's we don't support that. You keep doing you, but we're not going to pay for it.
Yeah, and yeah, it's entitlement. It's entitlement. It's like I just said here. Where did that 2.3 billion come from? My wallet, your wallet, TJ's wallet. Everybody's watching. Every
The next
American's
3 generations of wallets.
Yeah, it's coming. It's not coming from any like business. It's coming from our wallet. It is a free handout at our expense, and they feel entitled to it. And that's why every time one of these comes up, I have no sympathy for them, because it was a handout they did not earn. They, due to the way they were using it, they did not deserve, and they feel entitled to it. What these people are saying is they feel entitled to your money. They feel they should be able to reach into your bank account and take your money, and they're angry that we're not doing that.
Yep.
All right. Anything to add before we move on, guys?
Nope. I think we kind of
All
nailed
right.
it.
Well, I
We
just
beat
I
that
just
dead
wanna-
horse.
I want to take a moment and tell everyone here on Rumble, go and follow Joshua Matthew Black. He has a Rumble channel. He posted a video. So go follow him. He's at J6 Joshua Black. I'm going to post the link in all of the chats. Go and give him a follow. And if you check out his video, tell him I sent you. But everyone should go and give him a follow. Even if you don't go and watch his stuff, you should still support him. He's really a great guy. Really kind person. I hope to have him on the show again in the future. But go follow him, guys. Go follow him. We're going to move on to the next story. Link in the chat. So you guys were saying California this, California that, whatever. Everyone's always crapping on California. California is an amazing state. Fuck all of you.
Wow.
So California is now suing this corrupt administration over the tariffs.
I would have never expected such things.
So, California Governor Gavin Newsom has announced that the state will file a lawsuit against President Donald Trump over tariffs imposed using the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Newsom argues that these tariffs are causing significant economic disruption in California, affecting families, businesses, and the broader economy. The lawsuit challenges the legality and impact of these tariffs. Where was my right to sue during COVID? Where was by the way, like, can I just sue anytime the government does anything that affects inflation or money? Can I do that?
Can I sue unemployment?
Can I sue unemployment?
But I feel like tariffs have always been like on the table and have been used always, and so
All the tariffs are paused right now, and China is the only one that still has it active because we're talking about trade deals with everybody.
right, like he's suing the president for something that all presidents have been able to do and have done, maybe to a smaller degree, but like this is just, I don't like you.
It's also too soon. The effects of the tariffs haven't even hit yet.
Sure.
Like so when a tariff gets placed on something, you're not going to see the actual effects for average person. You're not going to see the effects of that for like a week or two.
Yeah, I like how they say for the longest time, the economy's fine, the economy's fine, the economy's fine, all through Joe Biden's presidency.
Now it's in shambles.
And now that Trump's here, yeah,
It doesn't look no different to me, guys. Just because you say it's different.
Yeah, they're just saying now that Trump's in office, your lives are actually as bad as you were saying they were the whole time.
Yeah, no, I wanted to bring up this story because it's utterly ridiculous to see a state trying to argue whether or not the federal government can put tariffs on foreign countries.
Yeah,
it's like, I'm sorry, California. Maybe you should be making things in your own state.
You know, a lot of these lawsuits, not just this one, but just like a lot of the lawsuits that are being brought up against Trump, they're trying to take power away from the president. They're trying to take away power from that branch of the government because they don't have it.
Yep.
So what they're trying to do is they're trying to remove as much power from there as they possibly can, so that when they start going rogue like they've been trying to do, nothing can really be done against it.
It's fair.
It's I don't want to call it 4D chess, but it's like 3.5D.
3.5D chess.
Yeah, 3.5D chess. There's like an extra half a king on there or something. I don't know. I suck at algebra.
Extra side of the die or something. I don't know.
Something like that. I don't know. I don't know. I play BattleTech.
The 21-sided die.
Tariff California. That's a great idea.
Tariff California. Guys, please don't. Don't. Haha, funny joke. Haha, don't do it.
when Denmark tried to retaliate. Oh, honestly, this was funny. When Denmark was joking about how, okay, well, we're going to sign a petition to buy California since America wants to buy Greenland. We're just getting... Oh, yeah, no, it was a joke. It was a joke. They based... it was... And, give them credit. It was actually kind of funny, but... more stuff like this happens. The more I sit there and go, Trump should hit him up on that. See if we can, do a trade here. Greenland for California, maybe?
Right.
Whoa.
Hey, you guys would get to be part of the place that makes Legos, and I love Legos. That's probably the only benefit. But
so, like I said, a lot of people shit on California, but we actually do a lot of great things for the country. We produce a lot of food for you guys, so fuck all of you.
Ration Rescue Tyler. We'll get you out of there.
Yeah, come rescue me, guys. I'll side against California when I'm rescued. I can't come out against the state. I will get fucked up in an event of war. So I have to appear on their side at least for now. Sorry.
All right, Jezza, I need you to go take my wagon from Mom and Dad's, and I need you to go get this guy.
All right, we're gonna move on to this.
She's looking at me like, "What the hell is a wagon?"
It's probably the last story. Joey should be starting his show here in just a moment. I'll send everybody over there. But the last story I wanted to bring up, because I actually kind of forgot about it. So a bunch of politicians are now heading down to, anyone guess it? Where the Democrats heading down to?
Oh, we already know.
El Salvador. So the Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen says he is flying to El Salvador to secure the release of illegal immigrant and MS-13 gang member Kilmar Abrego Garcia, claiming he's been kidnapped. Democrats defend criminals and illegals over Americans every single time. So let's just play a bit of this clip real quick.
Comments of President Bukele, and I look forward to meeting with him. I've requested to meet with him. I reached out to the ambassador here to ask to meet while he's here. And I've also made clear if we can't meet here, I do intend to go to El Salvador to discuss the release of this individual who is illegally detained, a Maryland man who's father of 3 in a notorious prison in El Salvador. And I believe
they keep referring to him to a Maryland man, but
Right.
he's not a citizen.
False framing.
Yeah, it's false. That's what I keep saying over these past couple of weeks. Can't use the language the Democrats are using. You see how they're trying to build the narrative that way. You need to, just like Bukele. Bukele was like, "Oh, you mean a terrorist?"
Or just like black community leader.
I'm going to ask the question that nobody's asking, that everyone should be asking. Why is the Democratic Party getting so up in arms over this guy specifically? Because obviously they've been against the whole deportation and whatnot and everything, but this guy specifically, they're going out of their way for.
It's
this MS-13 guy.
It's because he was the first guy to be deported that actually had like American citizen children and an American wife. So only he was deported. His family's still here. It wasn't the whole family that was deported, so it was just him, and it gained a little bit of traction, and Democrats have just been carrying the torch now.
Yeah,
But didn't they also say that there were some pauses on his deportation?
A judge ordered an indefinite pause on his deportation, which is not legal. You can't do that. So that ruling is already bunk. And then the Supreme Court ruling that he has to be brought back literally means nothing. The Supreme Court is not an enforcement arm. They just make decisions. The enforcement arm of the government, the executive branch, they can't go to another country and say, "Hey, our court ruled that guy comes back. Release him from your prison and bring him to us." That citizen that of your country that's not a citizen of our country, yeah, give him to us.
I still can't shake the feeling that there's something else here, because it seems like even going back to the pauses on his deportation, it doesn't sit right to me that they're hyper fixated on this one guy, even if it is just because they can get a media show out of it. It seems like there's something else going on here that we don't. I maybe I'm being a little paranoid, but it just seems like there's more to this than we're seeing.
No, I didn't see the press conference. What press conference, Stork?
So real quick, it seems to me like the reason that they're hyperfixating on this guy specifically is because it's the only one that they can have any sort of, strings to pull on. Like everything else is clean, clear cut and dry. This one, they like found, some sort of information or exception that they can blow up and try to judicially justify defying Trump's orders.
Yeah, and yeah, it might just be that.
Yeah, they just want to go against him.
I don't know. Maybe I've just played too much Stellaris, and I'm too used to doing espionage missions. But like, I see something like this. I see, yes, important MS-13 guy apparently gets deported. Had pauses on his deportation stuff. All of a sudden, they're going through hell and high water to bring this guy back. That makes me think there might be some shady connections.
Like he was a plant or something?
I don't know. I think it's just
maybe
it's
there's
just
a connection, but
I think it's just like with anything. Like there wasn't a connection with George Floyd and anything necessarily. It's just a viral moment, and then they tag onto it in order to push a political agenda.
Yeah,
they just wait for moments like that. Like sure, there have been similar situations with all the deportations, but for whatever reason, this one gained more traction than the rest, and they're pushing it forward. So I don't think there's anything deeper to it. I think it's like most things, they were waiting for an opportunity.
Yeah, and it could just be that. Like I said, I could just be a little too paranoid, but this one, just with the pieces we have and the things that were going on with this guy specifically, it seems a little too convenient. Like George Floyd, that was just a viral video, and it seemed like it. But this one,
Mad Stork has more to the story. He's talking about the press conference. So I guess this is just cut and dry now. They had a press conference claiming that he does have gang related tattoos. So they're confirming he has gang related tattoos. When he was picked up by ICE, he was with 2 other gang members, and he was also wearing a sweater with gang iconography. So it's pretty cut and dry. The dude was a gang member.
Yeah, like I said, I can't shake the suspicious feeling that maybe there are some Democrat people within that area that might have connections to the gang, and that might be why they're. That's what it looks like to me. That's what it looks like to me. Is like, okay, maybe they're fighting so hard because there's some connections to this gang within the Democrat Party, but I don't know.
I mean, it very well could be. I mean, you see how controlled the Mexican government is. But we're going to send everybody over to Joey, so let's get closing statements from everybody. TJ, you go first.
Yeah, it was good hanging out. Sucks I got to work through the rest of the week to be back chilling with you on Monday, but I'll keep fighting the good fight, and we'll talk about more stuff soon.
Oh, yeah. Well, so we'll see TJ on Monday. Say goodbye to TJ, everybody. All right. Bye, TJ.
Bye,
and then there we go. So, Ben, nice time having you on. Good conversation overall.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome to come back. I thought it was a pretty good show with everybody. Anything you want to shout out or closing statements, anything?
Am I allowed to plug my YouTube?
Yeah, plug whatever you want, man.
Yeah. Check out my YouTube. It's 9 Lives commentary on YouTube and here on Rumble as well. If you like watching,
how do you spell that 9?
It's the German word 9, Nein.
Yeah,
it's a very straightforward joke.
You got to clarify. Some people might think you meant the number 9. So it's the German 9.
Yep, Nein. Yeah, if you want to watch a dumbass 20-something talk about random social stuff and occasionally make his friends play games they don't like, go ahead and check it out.
Well, there you go. So go check out 9 Lives, YouTube and Rumble. Again, thank you, Ben.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we'll have you on again in the future. And thank you to everybody watching, of course. I had a great show today, great conversations with everybody. I look forward to more conversations in the future. If you would like to be on the show, I'm always looking to have more people on. I want to have just rotating guests. I want to have just tons of people on all the time. Makes for great conversation. So, hit me up on, if you know my Discord, you can hit me up on Discord. I'd prefer if you guys hit me up on X. I'm Tyler Today News on X, or Tyler Rittenauer. So find me on X, DM me there if you want to be on the show. If you know someone that I should try and get on the show, you can message me that as well. But thank you guys as always. And as always, I have an outro for you guys. So listen to the outro. The outro is very important. Listen to the outro and then go over to Joey's show. All right. Thank you. Thank all you fine people for joining me today. Peace out. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the video today. If you thought that was a great video, great live stream, great whatever you were watching, make sure you hit that like, thumbs up, whatever you're watching, hit that follow, subscribe, and if you really want to support me, you could always share the video and comment down below. But thank you guys so much. Make sure you follow on Rumble, YouTube, and X. Thank you, and peace out.